Hello, Lions. It's Mrs. Henry and my daughter Genevieve. We wanted to read a story, Sophia Valdez, Future Prez. And we chose a story because this is the month of March. And in the month of March, it's National Reading Month. And we enjoy this story at the house. We thought we'd share it and we hope we would inspire others to read too. Please send me pictures if you're reading. Send me. We'd love to see you read. So we're going to read this. Here we go. All right.
Sophia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1.
Wow, that's amazing. Show the picture. That's her helping her abuela
So that's her and that's her grandpa.
before she was 1. That's amazing. Okay. She and abuela went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own and who had no place to gather, were stuck home alone. So that's them helping friends.
We're stuck all of them, except for a bird,
Do you want to read?
and a dog. No.
Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk, Sophia Valdez did as much as she could for her family, her friends, and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sophia likes better.
Walking the dogs and a cat with a collar.
Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophia to class. They walked home again along Blue River Path, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl. Except for that Tuesday when Pup saw a squirrel! With a howl, Pup took off, racing through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. Oh my goodness. Look at that situation. Chasing the squirrel. They're going for it.
Squirrel!
A squirrel. The squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk from the local landfill. They reached the tip top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with a ear-splitting crash. Oh my God! Look at that! Oh no!
Oh dear! Oh deario! Down they all tumbled a hill with a thump.
And hit with a thump.
On a moldy old pumpkin, surrounded by mud. Ouch! Cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand.
Like
and the
holding
pup
her
was
hand.
like, I'm sorry. Here's your hand.
The next day, Sophia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without Abuelo. That is not right, declared young Sophia, who glared at the mountain of Mount Trashmore and got an idea.
Yay! I hope she built something. I don't know.
Well, you do. We've read it a few times.
I know.
The very next morning at do you want to read this? The very next morning at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Get rid of Mount Trashmore! Let's build a new park!
Yay!
That's the sign she put.
Yay! And I decorated a lake on the sign.
Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play.
Meeting spots,
Gardens,
and baskets for bees, a rubber duck pond, and hosted of cheese.
Kiosks for cheese.
She drew every thought on her map of the park, which
was perfectly perfect by a quarter till dark.
Wait, what does that mean? A grand council with Sophia the president.
She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then bam! She woke up with a thought smack her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sophia could build it alone. But how could one girl do so much on her own? The way of that thought made her tender heart ache. As night thunder growled and she lay wide awake, when dawn brought a storm and a gloomy sky wept, and a heart-sick Sophia finally slept.
You know,
It's a heart-sick Sophia.
people she's thinking about. Shade.
Abuelo baked cookies when Sophia got up. He gave her a bagful and snuck one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sophia. "For courage," he whispered. "Ti amo, mia vida." Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sophia Valdez went to face City Hall. She's gonna do it. This is her City Hall. So
compare her right here.
She's so tiny, and then the big City Hall.
With
She's
lots
brave.
with lots of people.
But look how strong and powerful she is with her voice. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the office of duck ponds, a cool thing to do. To the office of monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the division of fountains, and the meeting and bees. Then down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did. "You can't build a park. You're only a kid."
Okay, so that's her, and her.
Join all the different doors.
Wait,
The word smack so yeah. You sit up here, my love.
The word smack Sophia.
Ready, go.
The word smack Sophia down on her. Her plan was Oski before she could
Kibosh
start.
before she.
But good thing. This could start. It could start. I think, said Sophia.
I think that the law's wrong, but her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, "Clearly, it cannot be done. Do you have any questions?" Sophia said. "One. If you were me, if I was you, and he was your grandpa, what would you do?" Well," said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought. And she thought. Then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak, but her words jumbled up, and her cheeks turned bright red. As a dozen emotions rushed into her head, her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sophia leaned back. Then her arms brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sophia first knew being brave means doing the things you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2.
Grade 2nd, but like we are.
She took a deep breath. Do you want to read this? Jen?
No, I'm just thinking about it.
Read with me. Look the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sophia started talking. She spelled out her plan, and why it all mattered, and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town's elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine two. And
what do you think you'll say?
these are some cool ones. What do you think? And all right, cried the mayor. Go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission. And so young Sophia got right to work with some help from her family and pup and the clerk. Look at that.
Let's build a park. A park for everyone. Sign our permission, please. For park.
Sign our petition.
Petition for parks.
All right.
When others joined in, not all, but a few, like Mrs. Elmer and Greeter, and the kids in grade 2, Rosie Revere engineer.
All right.
Okay.
There was a hearing and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of by and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and then led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this true to be self-evident, that Sophia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sophia, that real life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek
get better
and better. Woohoo!
Everyone in the whole entire city.
Yeah.
Except for all of us.
Well, we're not in that city. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as we enjoy it. And we hope that we inspired you. Go Lions!
I will eat you.